Thank you so much. Good morning and welcome. At times like this, when I'm standing in for the president or welcoming groups here, I'm reminded of Conway's corollary to Murphy's Law. Anybody know it? Within every organization, there is one individual who knows what's going on. This person must be identified and fired. I know enough this morning to be dangerous, and so I hope you'll allow me a minute or two to share with you why I think it's so appropriate that your organization has chosen to do your conference today here at Grand Valley. This morning, we are taking great pleasure in making an announcement that our new Niemeyer Living Center on our Allendale campus, which houses the Frederick Meyer Honors College, has been given LEED certification silver status. It's the 15th building at Grand Valley which now qualifies for LEED status. We have more LEED certified buildings than any campus in Michigan. We really do believe this stuff, and you'll see it all around you. Grand Valley has been committed to sustainability and to conservation and wise use of our resources as long as I've been associated with this wonderful university. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you have leaders who believe in it. And we are being recognized for our initiatives. Our sustainability office, and you'll have the opportunity to meet Norm Christopher if you haven't yet. Norm, stand up. There in the back, wave, do something. And the new director of our Alternative and Renewable Energy Center, Arnold Bozard, is also here. Arn is in the back on the left-hand side. These are our resident experts, and every day bring us suggestions and ideas of how we can do better. The result of that is that among Michigan colleges and universities, there is only one institution that's on Kaplan's list of sustainable, green, leading, cutting-edge universities, and it happens to be Grand Valley State. In a former life, in the last century actually, I was a member of the Michigan Public Service Commission, which is our state's utility regulatory body. And my colleagues and I, during our terms of service, adopted some conservation measures that we believed were important because we held the view, and I still do, that sustainability programs work best when everyone is contributing and has a share and makes it work as a community. Well, certain classes of utility customers didn't care for these programs, and so I got hauled before a U.S. Senate panel that was investigating rogue states. And just to make the point too fine, I happened to be questioned that day by senators from Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Texas. And they didn't think much of conservation programs because, of course, the businesses in their states wanted to sell more natural gas and more energy. And our practice was that the least expensive unit of energy available to all of us is the one you don't have to buy. And so it's also appropriate that you are here today in Grand Rapids with more LEED certified buildings than any other city in Michigan. That does not happen by accident. It happens because our mayor has made it a priority. And it's a real honor for me to be able to introduce our sustainable mayor. Before I do that, though, I want to point out that if any of you here today are around long enough to fall in love, George is both an ordained minister and the mayor of our fair city. And so on either count, if you want either a civil or religious ceremony, he is available to you at the end of the day. The Honorable George Heartwell.
Well, thank you, Matt. I haven't been introduced in that fashion before. And let me start by just saying thanks to Grand Valley State. What an incredible partner they have been here for this city and for our business community as we have set out on this journey to become a sustainable community. The commitment that Grand Valley has made with very real concrete investments in not only in building, but even more importantly, I think, in programming, in staffing, and instruction in this field is just unparalleled. So, Matt, certainly as the mayor of the city, I am delighted to have Grand Valley as a partner. Thank you very much. And thanks for hosting us today. Welcome. Very, very glad to have you in Grand Rapids. We're proud to be able to host this Greentown event here in our fair city. Grand Rapids is, I use the term journey, and we really see it in that fashion. We're on a journey toward becoming a sustainable community. I'm pretty convinced that there isn't an end point to that journey when finally you can say, whew, you know, we made it, here we are, we're sustainable. That it is a process, an engagement that is ongoing. We also are fully committed to a balanced triple bottom line, And while this conference is about green and environmental sustainability, you simply can't or shouldn't talk about green today without also bringing in the elements of economic viability. We surely understand that in the state of Michigan, and social equity. Because the city that is green as it can be is not a sustainable city if it is not economically viable and competitive in a global economy, and if it isn't treating its citizens, its people, at all levels as equals and providing fair opportunity for everyone to participate in the goods of society, if you will. So welcome to you to Grand Rapids. I'm going to get a chance on a panel a little later this morning to brag some on our city, and so I won't use this time for that. But we have visitors from throughout the Midwest with us this morning, and so for those of you who are in Grand Rapids for the first time, welcome. I wish we could have given you a little prettier day today. We've had such gorgeous weather, but nonetheless, you're going to be inside working anyway, so the weather won't bother you. I hope for those of you who came in yesterday, or even some the day before, that you had a chance to find your way around our downtown and experience some of Grand Rapids. Our wonderful museums, the LEED certified Grand Rapids Art Museum, the Public Museum, the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum, wonderful assets right downtown. You'll find that we have a very walkable downtown. In fact, if you're up to walking and the weather permits, there's quite a wonderful unbroken 3.8 mile river walk that takes you on both sides of the Grand River, all through the downtown area from north to south. Perhaps you found some of our restaurants, I hope, and our watering holes here in Grand Rapids, and if not, it sounds like there's an opportunity yet today to experience Founders Brewery and its wonderful set of locally brewed offerings. It should be a fascinating day, and part of the fascination, I think, is what you share with each other throughout the course of this Greentown experience. So please get a chance to know and meet and greet those that you haven't met before, and share some of your experiences and best practices. We have a number of mayors who are here today, and mayors who are already committed in their own communities to creating green, viable, sustainable communities. And I welcome my colleagues from throughout the Midwest who are here. I do want to single out one mayor, Mayor Bob Dixon, who's here. You're going to get to hear from Mayor Dixon shortly, as soon as I stop yammering and get off the stage, I think. But I had a chance yesterday to spend an hour with the Mayor Dixon, the mayor of Greensburg, Kansas. And his experience is so unique and his story is so compelling that you're in for a real experience as you listen to what Mayor Dixon and the people of Greensburg, Kansas are doing. I found the mayor to be not only visionary and bold, but also a man of deep faith, faith in God and faith in the ability of a people through a network of relationships, of people who have been deeply damaged, to restore themselves as a community. Quite remarkable. So we look forward to hearing from Mayor Dixon. Welcome to you all. I'll be around through the course of the conference and look forward to meeting and greeting you all here. Thank you. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce to you John Harris of A5, who will talk a little bit about the conference itself and the green aspects of the conference. John Harris.
Thank you, Mayor Heartwell. A tremendous honor to know you, to work with you. A tremendous honor to be here today in Grand Rapids. Some of you may know A5, we have offices in Chicago and in St. Louis and here in Grand Rapids. I actually live in Chicago. Jill Armstrong, who's here today, represents us, I think, extremely well here in Grand Rapids and in West Michigan. And it's interesting when Mayor Heartwell's talking about the different attractions here in Grand Rapids. And I've been working in Grand Rapids for about a dozen years here, and I've seen a lot of things change as you have, and hopefully you would agree that for the better, and it's due to the leadership of institutions such as Grand Valley State University, of private industry, private companies, some of whom are here today as sponsors, exhibitors, and participants. But you know, as I walk through downtown, we stayed, you know, I'd like to stay at the JW Marriott and the Amway Grand, and quite often I do when we come to town if we can get an extra special rate. But I was heartened also to see the Days Inn being renovated down here. And again, as Mayor Heartwell said, being able to walk out your door, walk to get coffee, walk across the bridge. We walked across 2 different bridges to be able to go to the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Library, the Van Andel Public Museum. 8 or 10 of us were riding the carousel last night. It was a little bit of a late night. Those of you who know who you were, and you're looking a little bleary-eyed this morning. But it's a fantastic, walkable, mid-sized city. As someone who comes from Chicago, you know, it's easy to say, it's easy to look at and go, Chicago, what, you know, besides New York or LA or international cities, you know, what else is there? I get a great feeling whenever I come to Grand Rapids. Everything that's happening here in the private sector, the public sector, and that's what makes this a perfect venue, because it's a wonderful community, and Greentown is about building community. And so thank you again for being here. Thank you, Norman Christopher, Corky Overmeyer, for all of your work. Mayor Dixon, who, as Mayor Heartwell said, is a true inspiration to us all and reminds us all that it's not one person that does anything, it's all of us who do this together. So again, as Mayor Heartwell said, the idea here is to be educated, to be inspired, to network, but ultimately to make connections so that we can actually get something done, so that we can plan for the future and actually implement it. One more thank you. The folks at Grand Rapids Community College who are taping this over there. Which side? Oh, neither side is best. Never mind. Mayor Dixon will be a better looking subject for the camera here this morning. A few logistical notes. Your entire morning is in here, and then we will have lunch. If the weather cooperates, we will do that outdoors. We believe very much in the indoor-outdoor connection. Aldo Leopold, 70 years ago, wrote a book called Sand County Almanac, and talked about our loss of connection to the land. And then Rachel Carson tried to help us about 40, 50 years ago with her book on chemicals and the impact it was having on the environment and on people. And here we are in 2009, and we're still trying to get back to that connection to the land. So in a very small way, and again, Grand Valley has done a great job with its campus here, we're going to try and connect you. That said, if it rains, you can either, if it rains, we're not having lunch, so you won't get anything at all. No, actually, we do have a backup plan, and it is down the hall. It would be to your left and down that way, and we'll direct you if it is, in fact, raining. If you forgot an umbrella, we have a few extras, only a few extras. Reserve them now, Corky, because you forgot your umbrella. You don't need an umbrella? Okay, great. And in the afternoon, over here to my right, your left, will be the breakout sessions. Actually, one will be in here, and 3 will be just down the hall here. And don't forget to say hello to our exhibitors and sponsors, you know, who have contributed and are supporting us here today. And again, as Gary mentioned all of them, and you've seen some of them up here on the screen. Gary mentioned, we are tweeting today. So Bennett Dilley from A5 will be tweeting, and if it's okay, Matt McLogan will we'll use Twitter to further make your announcement. We've had a lively debate about social media. We're trying to use it in an appropriate sense, and so you can follow us on Twitter at @Greentown. And hopefully, again, in the sense of building community here on Twitter, on LinkedIn. I'm going to skip Facebook if that's okay with you guys, you know, and MySpace, but we'll be out there trying to share your thoughts and ideas. So if you have a thought or an idea, hey, we're doing this, or hey, why don't we do this, or why isn't this happening, share it with us. We'd love to put that out there and create the dialogue and keep things moving. This is a zero waste event, and thanks to 7 Generations Ahead and Gary and Michelle and Sue for doing that. Everything here is compostable. If you've got a plastic water bottle, hide it if you can. If you can't, we'll try not to look at you in a funny sort of manner. But we are trying to do everything zero waste or as near zero waste as possible. And thanks to Viability for making this a carbon neutral conference. 21 carbon credits will be needed to offset Greentown, Grand Rapids, and they'll be verified under the voluntary carbon standard. And I know Kyle, Chris, and Dr. Dave are all here. Can you guys raise your hands? Okay, they're front middle here. If you'd like to know about what Viability is doing and how they do it, they put together a nice little sheet on a small piece of edible paper, right? I mean, this is locally grown here in Michigan. You know, we haven't talked really about green jobs. Our video presentation from Senator Stabenow, we'll talk about that a little bit. We need to make sure that we talk, as Mayor Heartwell said, about the economy as well as environmental effectiveness and social equity, social justice. And so those are themes that, even though this is called Greentown, the idea is the future of community, and the triple bottom line is extraordinarily important because that's how we'll get to sustainable communities. So I wanted to leave you with one thought. I'll plug integrated architecture here and Trish Spalding because she's been a great friend, and over the years I know to Jill Armstrong and to us, but she gave me this quote this morning, which you can also grab from her. Creativity is thinking up new things. Innovation is about doing new things. And I think that's creativity leads to the innovation. And I think that's something that we all need to keep in mind. I know I do. And Senator Stabenow, I think, will talk about that. And we invited Senator Stabenow originally because Gary and I heard her speak at a Green Jobs Conference in Washington, D.C. And what was really fascinating about it was this was a labor conference immediately after President Obama took office. And there were probably 5,000 people in the Marriott in D.C. And on the podium up in front were the mine workers, the head of the union, the steel workers, their head of the union. I mean, these are pretty tough, powerful folks up there with the Sierra Club and other environmental organizations. And I remember Gary and I walking into the room and going, is this really possible? Can this really be? Coal miners, steel workers, all of the unions up there with the environmental groups. Who would have thought that that was possible even a year or two ago? We're going to be doing Greentown in Chicago, October 15th. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the keynote speaker. Mayor Daley will be there. But one of the things that's really important, the city of Chicago is behind it, much as the city of Grand Rapids is behind this, but they're really having conversations with the 20 or so unions that in many ways, I mean, Mayor Daley runs Chicago, but the unions have a big stake in what happens in that city. It's no secret. If anybody's ever done a convention in Chicago at McCormick Place, you know you're dealing with the union. So these folks are coming together. The city and the unions are actually sitting around the table and starting to create a meaningful dialogue for change in the community, changing the codes, changing the rules, changing the way people think. And those types of things are really starting to happen because it is about that sustainability and green jobs. Who would have thought coal would be clean coal, green jobs? That's the way they're thinking. And so it's not just renewable energy, which we're going to talk about today in the afternoon. It's everything that we're doing and re-examining. So innovation is really important, even if it's an old industry or a new one. I'd like to recognize Mary Judnick here from Senator Stabenow's office down in front. Thank you, Mary, for bringing to us Senator Stabenow via video. And now I will exit the stage, and thank you again, Senator Stabenow, via video. Live via video, Mark? Does that work?
Close enough.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Good morning. I wish I could be with you. What a great idea. Greentown, the future of community Grand Rapids. I want to congratulate Mayor Heartwell and everyone involved with the city as well as GVSU for your leadership continually on these issues. We're laser focused on jobs, energy efficiency in the future for Grand Rapids and for Michigan. I'm very proud that my regional manager, Mary Judnick, is with you. As you know, she's there in Grand Rapids each and every day, and we're proud to be your partners. I was pleased recently, as a member of the Senate leadership, chairing our outreach committee, to host a Green Job Summit in Washington. And it was very exciting to brag about what we are doing in Michigan. We had 10 companies that were able to join us that are right now focused on creating jobs and the new clean economy. And we are also focused, as you know, and everyone in Grand Rapids knows, on the jobs of the future through training, and having our universities and community colleges represented at this summit was very important as well. There are a number of ways in which I'm working hard as a member of the Finance Committee, Energy Committee, Agriculture Committee to make sure that Michigan is front and center as we focus on partnerships and new investments. I was very, very involved in writing the Recovery Act, and I was pleased to see that we were able to identify $8 million for West Michigan in energy efficiency block grants, and to focus on retrofitting residential and commercial buildings, support for transportation programs that conserve energy, and all of you have done such wonderful work around transportation. And also, these grants are to fund energy efficient traffic signals and street lights and other areas that you believe are the right strategies for you in Grand Rapids. Also, the green job training dollars that we've been able to identify, $500 million nationally, and we are bringing those dollars into Michigan. We intend to also be the leader on manufacturing advanced batteries, and it's exciting to be partnering with the governor and the state on the vision to bring in manufacturers. We've identified several, and they will be receiving dollars from the $2 billion investment nationally in advanced batteries that we put into the recovery plan as well. But there's a lot more to do. As a member of the Energy Committee, I've been very involved in writing the clean energy technology legislation that will allow us to take the next step. We have a manufacturing provision in that bill I was proud to author, a clean energy fund to help jumpstart innovation by making sure there's financing available for our startup companies. And we have many of those in Michigan, as you know, many in West Michigan. So as we look forward at the very important broad clean energy legislation, I'm working every day to make sure that when it is fully designed and implemented, it will be about jobs, jobs, jobs for us in Michigan, because that is part of our future as we look to taking our manufacturing and engineering capacity, our great innovative spirit, our entrepreneurs. We can focus on those things through a clean energy incentive program that will create jobs. And isn't that what we want and what we need right now? So have a great day.